Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. Their long winning streak finally came to an end last week. A disappointing game for them, but still a heck of a run.
Indeed it was. What a great job by them putting together a streak. Now let's see how they rebound after a defeat.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They'll be led out by their quarterback. Out of Oregon, it's Marcus Mariota.
Now, the meeting we had with him this week, that's one of the briefer ones we've ever had, isn't it?
He wasn't too happy after last week.
Not happy. Really determined to play a whole lot better, and he really can't play a whole lot worse. He's got to go out and show the team that the goods that he exhibited early are still there. Otherwise, he could lose the confidence that they have in him.
Yeah, hoping to get rid of that interception bug. Mariota now to throw on first down. And his first look is incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. First carry for Nick Chubb. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Third down, Mariota. Here comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose, and the Bengals have recovered it. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball. Because you're going after him.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always. Now a play fake here on first down. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Jordan Evans, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
A 4-yard pickup that gets them going forward, but still 15 yards left on third down. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
A little juke. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
No. Check. Patriot. Over.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And out across midfield down to the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. On second down, here's Mixon. Spinning away. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. The numbers for Mixon last week, just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total, scary. A first down carry for Henry. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Looking to throw on second down. Finley. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Mixon trying to punch it in. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. And that score will do it. He is now the most prolific touchdown rusher of all time.
When they always talk about a runner who has a nose for the end zone, this player exemplifies that statistic. And now it's been quantified. The all-time touchdown rushing record in the NFL.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Here's a run with Mixon, and he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there, taking it in, and the Bengals add on to their lead. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play, and result, touchdown.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their futures. They look ahead to the offseason. What spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him.
Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. And remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
Comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Throwing is Mariota. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense, because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but
Still
all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And down he goes just beyond the 35. And that pretty move got him some extra space to run. A good productive run there on first down. He winds up getting 8. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like with the run.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Fletcher Cox. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
No. Check. Patriot.
On third down, Henry. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. 1 quarter down here on a frigid December night. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Taken in at the 22. Five yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. A first down throw for Mariota. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 for Bengals TD.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick-6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
You're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Drops it off for Chubb. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Call it a gain of 5. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Mariota to throw it. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First catch of the game for Cooks. That'll be a 1st down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now Joe Mixon, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. He's got his man, Boyd. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. Again to Henry. Oh, he shifts past him. Space to maneuver at the 40. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
No. Check. Patriot.
A handoff to Mixon. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And a rout is on here in this first half. Bullock out now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Now, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. First down, Mariota. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a first down.
And he'll be the one in the film session if he's saying, hey, run that one back, coach.
Yeah.
Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that again.
One more time.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Throw complete right side to Cooks. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And that's incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. That'll bring up second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. The Browns on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Mariota on 1st down. And that's complete to Cooks. And he'll get it down here to the 43. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Mariota now on 2nd down. Dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another 1st down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Mariota again. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the 2nd quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And a nice spin into some open field. That one 28 yards on the ground. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this 1st half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
On 1st down, Finley. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Back to throw. Finley. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. They'll give it to Mixon. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bengals have got it on cruise control.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number. We now proceed to the start of the second half. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here.
No. Check. Patriot. Check 13. Watch him now, Barney.
Here's a give to Mixon. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 38 yards on the scamper there.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They go play action here on first down. Going deep. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1. A gain of 39 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can...
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on. Pull it good on the extra point. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. On play action, Mariota. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Here's Mariota. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On first down. They'll run with Chubb. And an alley to run. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Off the play fake, Mariota. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, they're always trying to get him the football.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 4 yards on the pickup. And just like that, it's third down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that set.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
Mixon with a first down carry. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That good for 19 and a first down.
Most players will tell you that night games, while they can be fun, they're really hard to prepare for because you wake up on game day and all you want to do is get to the stadium and let's get going. But you got to bank that fire a little bit and hold it until the evening. It's almost like a Broadway premiere. Got to wait until the nighttime to go out there in front of the bright lights. And boy, has he harnessed himself really well, and now he's unleashing it on the opponents. Aaron Donald's secret, if there is one, to his play, his ability to contort his body in such a way that you can't get a good, clean block on it. He slides through holes and slides.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Derrick Henry with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And that will extend this big lead. Bullock out now to kick this one away. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. They run it again with Chubb. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out. But you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, it's not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete. But you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. A give. This is Chubb looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
Handoff comes to Chubb. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Brought down by the cornerback, William Jackson.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And again, it's Chubb. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a really nice 15-yard. Pick up, and now it's 1st and goal.
3 down. 3 down. Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move.
They'll run for it with Anderson. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll try to throw now. Mariota. This will be caught at about the 5. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. If you're going to pass down here, you better get that in the end zone.
I agree with you totally. And as we both know, the field's already condensed. There's just not a lot of space. So you've got to create some by getting some people downfield into the end zone. If you want to throw it short, you've got to have some movement, some room in order to do that. That one didn't work.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg. And they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. 78 yards. And the Bengals have got it on cruise control. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Bullock out now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They set up the screen to Chubb. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy. We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. 4th quarter, you got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Watch you now, Barney! Barney!
On 3rd down, Finley. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, Finley. They set up the screen for Henry. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. The 1st down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And, a little spin cycle. Room to run now. That one good for 33 in the 1st.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
They come out here in the eye. Looking to throw. Finley. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
No. Check. Patriot.
To throw on second down. Finley. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Here's Mixon, and he's in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there, taking it in. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Did you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Bullock out now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Now here's Ross. Oh, look at that. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because...
And this is caught inside the 5. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bengals have got it on cruise control. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Darquez Dennard. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this two-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, first down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
No, check, Patriot!
Now a handoff to Henry. And he is going to lose yardage here. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this.
Get him, boy! Get him, boy!
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And the pitch goes to Mixon. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. That is caught inside the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. The toss play to Mixon, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And, partner, are you kidding me? With this game that he's having, we are in uncharted waters like we've never seen before.
Just think, if he keeps every football from all the touchdowns scored today, does he need to build a new trophy room at home?
Yeah. A couple trophy rooms. Maybe a whole home for trophy room.
What a phenomenal performance, and I'll guarantee you he's going to reward the rest of the offensive unit after this as well for helping him get to this number.
He better. This is just unreal. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Caught on the right side by Treadwell. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 3rd and long here for Mariota. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Darquez Dennard there defensively.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Look at the spin.
Balance.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Leopard! Leopard! 4 down. Check, check. Over!
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining.
Watch you now, Barney!
That one looks like he'll throw here. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bengals, it's another win for them, and you wonder if they want a redo on that one loss as they sit now at 14-1. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they hit double-digit.
Scouting points are earned every week. Use all your points, as a portion of the remaining points will be lost when you advance the week.